broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League. We're broadcasting from the Boise State Esports Arena. Tonight we kick off our newest Rocket League Fall Rumble, as everybody is going to be gunning for the title next week. And we have a high school joining the fray this time with the Liberty North Eagles. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer. Joining me to call all the action is Artie Rain. And Artemis, it's been quite a long time since we've actually had a high school team join us in Esports Tower.
Yeah, when I checked in with production staff before we got on desk for this broadcast, they told us we are having a high school join in once again. It was like, oh my gosh, it's returned to the original Esports Tower, our first time on desk for this corporation as a whole. It was Esports Tower teams going up against high school teams, and it's been so long, almost an entire year since we've had high schools return into this whole loop that we have within the Esports Tower. So it's really excited to have some outside talent coming in. Definitely
will be a pleasant surprise, but we can take a look at the full bracket because we have one high school team joining us, but also three teams that we're well aware of. The Barracudas, Hammerheads, the Mammoths, and Liberty North High is going to be joining us for tonight's Rumble. As we get ready to start our first match, we want to remind our friends on Twitch to support your team, celebrate their successes, but of course be respectful to other fans. Monster will move anyone who violates the chat rules. So we see the bracket lined up for us tonight. Looks like we're going to have the Eagles and Hammerheads going up again in the first round, or rather the first round, not again. And the Mammoths and Barracudas are going to be going in the second round, kind of the upper semis, if you will. And then because this double elimination, if you get knocked out, you don't necessarily have to bite the dust if you lose.
Yes, there's a safety net in place. Really curious to see what rosters are pulled out for the Esports Tower teams, because the Mammoths is a squad we've not seen in a very long time. So they probably have either some fresh faces, or it's a put-together team of members that we've had here in Esports Tower, especially if they're going up against the Barracudas.
Well, no matter if they're new or veteran players, they're going to want to follow Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League. And today that's going to be to create mistakes, punish overcommits, play off the walls better, and demo to disrupt. Doc's keys to the game brought to us by Esports Tower. Score Pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. We kick off our Rumble with our high school team, the Liberty North Eagles, taking on the Esports Tower Hammerheads. So we'll see how the first high school team in quite a long time fares against some more veteran names, if you will. So we're ready to head into the first match of this best of 5.
And we have Cameron, Toke, and Raisin coming in for the side of the Hammerheads. We're very familiar with Toke. I believe this is Cameron's second appearance as Raisin. This is the first time we're going to be able to see them stay for Esports Tower.
Hawk trying to keep the side control for Liberty North, but it gets answered back across toward their own goal. A shot on goal quickly from Cameron. It's going to be wide to the right. Ball has a lot of verticality, but no one to follow it up as Liberty North gets their clear.
It's going to be pushed right in front of the Hammerhead goal. The follow-up wasn't quite where it needed to be there for the side of Liberty North. Ball still in the back third of Hammerhead defensive territory. We have Raisin bring it into the corner, taken away by Hawk, sent to the midfield stripe, sent right back to the goal by Cameron, and sent to the side by Mini.
Okay, tries to drive it around the corner to center, but it's blocked by Minivolt. Now Hawk moves in. It's just going to be a pass back toward Minivolt, and a demo onto Electrolyte. It's going to keep Liberty North at bay. They're just going to have to go for a more defensive clear and leave it to Cameron. Although Cameron doesn't clear it out himself, so that allows Liberty North to move in potentially, but a weird bounce off the ball is going to send it back to their corner.
Ball still popped up here in front of Liberty North's net. A dunk down from Hawk at mid allows him to push past the midfield stripe, but it's immediately volleyed by Toke. Elevation from Mini Bolt, shot on goal, a little bit too high. The follow-up from Cameron, and Raisin might allow to cross the midfield stripe. It will not. Electrolyte thwarting all of their attempts, going to elevate, look for an opportunity to play off the backboard here or to a teammate. Taken away yet again by Cameron, trying to bring it up to the midfield stripe.
Hawk tries to take it away and is going to be successful, trying to set it up for a goal, and another shot on goal is going to go through, but it gets deflected up, and Toke now has control. Going to punt it over toward the goal, but it just bounces off one of the posts. Another shot from Cameron, saved by Electrolyte, still keeping it at a scoreless tie. Both these teams don't have too many shots on goals, but a lot of saves.
2 minutes in, another demo onto Electrolyte, and as we're talking about shots on goal versus goals, Cameron finally finds one. It's going to be the first one for the Hammerheads, and we're almost halfway through game number 1 here.
Although, judging by the pace of this match so far, still plenty of time for Liberty High to be brought back into the full. As I say that, Hawk takes it off of the kickoff and gets the equalizer. We're back to a tight game.
Going into the next kickoff, it looks like Toke and Hawk go for the challenge. It ends up in Hammerhead territory. Cameron tries to return it. Unfortunately for them, Mini Bolt's going to be the one to snag it off that back wall. Pass it to Electrolyte. Electrolyte, unfortunately, has a collision ball at the midfield, dropping down onto Mini Bolt's car. They have a few moments to take some touches and center it up for a teammate. Looks like they're leaving it for Electrolyte. A little bit slow on the return there, allows Raisin to come in and find goal number 2 for the Hammerheads, but that's only a 1-goal lead here with 2 minutes and 18 seconds on the clock.
Unfortunately, Hawk unable to save that one, but he's going to take charge on the kickoff. Leave it for Electrolyte, but it just bounces off of Ray. And Liberty High is still looking to center it. And they're going to double commit on that, trying to set it up. Good. Yeah, that does, unfortunately for them, come back to bite him as it leaves Cameron wide open to clear. 2 are rotating back. And speaking of 2 of the Hammerheads are actually demo.
Oh, wow, that's unfortunate, but the respawns have happened. Ball, ooh, they've returned the favor, taking out Mini Bolt. Cameron gonna pop the ball up, get it past Electrolyte. Can they get it past Hammerhead? They cannot. Is there a ball from Toki? There is. Will it go in? It's gonna be saved by Mini Bolt again. Fantastic touches there and great saves by Liberty North. Now they're trying to go for the forward assault, but it's going to be thwarted yet again by Cameron. Swooping into Electrolyte, there's no one to beat, but Cameron swoops in at the last second, popping the ball in the air. Mini Bolt tries to go in for the final attempt, and they will not make contact with the ball.
Mini Bolt is centering, but the question is to who? It actually goes over to Cameron on the other team, who tries to find a clear. Electrolyte is able to save the play, moves in for the shot, places it in the corner, and we're tied again.
Minute 8 seconds left on the clock, tied to a side. That's a sign of some great Rocket League happening. Both teams doing a fantastic job here as we go into the next kickoff. Kind of dead in the water. Cameron, though, off the wall is going to take a shot. He's going to hit that backboard. They're going to just easily beam it into the net. Defender out of place. The follow-up, unfortunately, cut in a little too late, and that's goal number 3 for the Hammerheads.
Third time that Liberty North is going to have to equalize. Trying to dunk it down, Hawk just flies past it. That leaves a clear open for the Hammerheads. In fact, they clear out the goal with a demo onto Mini Bolt, but that shot is still not going to go through as the second defender for Liberty North is holding strong. Now they got to find their clear and turn this around, especially since they're going to be down 2 goals.
38 seconds left on the clock. It's not impossible to find 2 goals in this time, but it's pretty gosh darn difficult. Liberty North has scored goals relatively fast after the Hammerhead, but not 2 in a row. Let's see if they can. 30 seconds left now. Ball is inside Hammerhead territory. They just need to find the chink in the armor. Popping it up. It's going to get cleared, though. Elevation from Raisin. Mini Bolt's going to send it across the midfield stripe and into defensive third of Hammerhead territory.
18 seconds left. A goal would have to be scored right now to bring in a round possibility. Hawk tries it, but he's beaten to the punch by Ray. That's going to bleed off enough time from the timer to make the Hammerheads the favorites to win this game. Just 4 seconds left, and once it hits the ground, we will be done with this first in the best of 5. Last-minute chance by Electrolyte to try to score, but it's still going to be denied. Overall, I gotta say, we really had kind of just one player standing above the rest on terms of the Hammerheads, just getting all the shots on goal and a hat trick on top of that.
Well, okay, yeah, I can't argue with you on that one. But, I mean, are you going to spend a lot of time on the respawn screen, like I always like to say afterwards, if you are the pop-off player?
That is true. That's always the strategy that you can bring out, or even if you can't demo them, just kind of bump them out of the way. Keep the ball away from them. Don't allow them to make the aerial plays. That could be Liberty North's strategy moving forward. But I think that this isn't the last that we have heard from them, because they did not let this become any sort of blowout by any stretch of the imagination, only losing by 2 goals. So the Hammerheads still want to keep out. Cameron, 2025, you've got a target on your back now.
Just a tiny bit, and Raisin, who is also a great facilitator for Cameron, also does, which is quite interesting. 2 fresher faces here for Esports Tower, definitely demonstrating that they deserve to be here and why they are here. Cameron, though, doing another elevation, going to bring the ball down in front of Hawk. Raisin's going to come in, help out. Awkward ricochet off of one of the Liberty North players means ball is going to be out of possession for the Hammerheads, crossing midfield stripe into Hammerhead territory.
Electrolyte unable to beat that 50-50 from the Hammerheads. Cameron pushes it toward the goal, but Hawk with an easy elevation. Try to push it past midfield, but it's dunked down by Ray, and Liberty North's on the back foot trying to defend from that. Hawk is going to turn it around, pitches it off the ground for a beautiful shot on goal.
I like to give a shout out to the fact that Hawk completely stopped and turned around and was like, it's either going in or it's not, that's it. And it went in. It was beautiful.
You know, the thing about pitches, you know, playing off the walls, but the ground is still just as solid. Hawk used that to his advantage. Now we move on in this match. 4 minutes left on the timer. Hawk is going to look to try to make another play. Electrolyte's hanging in the wings for the follow-up, but he's going to be pushed off to the corner, giving Cameron possibly some time to clear. Minibolt is waiting to intercept. He gets the bump on that. Another touch from Minibolt. He's going to send it back into Hammerheads.
Minibolt dunking the ball down to Hawk. Raisin, though, tries to get in and disrupt. They manage to get a touch on it. Follower from Toge, a little too wide. Second touch from Raisin, again, too wide. Ball crossing midfield stripe. Cameron's got to race back, but can't. And unfortunately, even though they had the midfield control, that's just, you don't have the speed to beat a ball back to the net sometimes. And now, Liberty North is in the lead by 2.
Electrolyte tries to take it away from Toge. Toge still has control and using the wall now to push it into the corner. Blazan tries to center it, but the shot goes back across the midfield. Hawk spots the opening and swoops in to get a second goal.
Was that an intentional pun?
Yes, it was.
Nice. Cameron looks like they're going to try and clear up some space here for Raisin by taking out Minibolt, but unfortunately they could not capitalize. Another racing back in towards the goal. Toge chips in just in time to make that save. Electrolyte tries to center it up for Hawk. Hawk forward, ball rolling past. I believe that was Minibolt. Can't be stopped, and now Hammerheads finally put a goal on that board for themselves.
Kickoff slightly in favor of the Hammerheads. Toge to play off of it, tries to dunk it down into the goal. Hawk finds the save, but it's not going to be a clear. It doesn't make it past midfield. Going to try to play off the wall. The ball very slowly moves past midfield. Now can Mini center it? Is there going to be a follow-up? Not before Cameron can drive it back, push it back into Liberty North's territory. They have a narrow lead. Toge's trying to change that, trying to set up for an equalizer. And Electrolyte is unable to read it correctly, tries to save, but is going to fail in that regard.
Hammerheads need one more goal to bring this to a tie game. We still have 2 minutes, 17 seconds on the clock. Not that 2-goal lead for Liberty North has been taken away. It does mean the nail in the coffin has been pried out by the Hammerheads themselves.
Hawk around the corner. It's going to go to Mini, which fortunately for him misses, so it allows Ray to push into their own corner, steal the boost away from them, leave it for Toge to keep the play going. Down to Cameron. Hawk is able to get a touch on it, send it high into the air. 50-50 goes in favor of Liberty North, even though it was a 1-on-2. But that's still not going to be enough for them to get complete side controls. Cameron is still contesting, trying to set it up for a goal. They're going to be unable to dunk.
Electrolyte tries to bounce the ball down past Raisin, but can't find the clear. Minibolt now going for the challenge, going to pop up over Raisin. Cameron's going to have to come in and play some disruptive play. Electrolyte with possession sends it to Hawk. The ball's still here in the corner, Liberty North territory. They need to find a clear. They're in hot water. Finally, ball at midfield stripe. Mini off the wall, has the opportunity to send it to Electrolyte. Raisin's going to look for a dump down to send it to Toge. Awkward collision between multiple members of the Hammerheads. Ball does cross midfield stripe and is in defensive third of Liberty North High's territory.
Electrolyte is going to be denied that clear as Cameron just comes in over him, takes it away and pushes it into the goal with force. Now it's tied 3 apiece with just 1 minute left, and Hammerheads now all of a sudden looking a lot more lively, looking to drive this to match point. They get 1 more goal.
They need to play this cleanly and keep their rotation strong. They've had some great ones. There were a little bit of breakdowns we saw before that most recent goal for them. But they just need to return back to what they were doing in game number 1 and not let Hawk have just the way that they did this first half of this game. But Minibolt's going to find just an easy shot on goal, getting it past one defender and bringing Liberty North up by 1. 33 seconds on the clock, 3-1. Hammerheads trailing by 1 goal.
Ray with a long shot off to the goal. Barely saved by Electrolyte. Liberty North maintains the narrow lead with just 20 seconds left. One clear here would be great, and Hawk to play under Ray. To just drive under him, deny the aerial, and it works out. 10 seconds left.
Ball is inside Hammerhead defensive third. Cameron's going to get the clear, but now this ball needs to stay in the air, and it's in the air with Hawk, unfortunately, for the Hammerheads. Ball hits the ground now. The round is over, and we're tied 1 aside as far as the specified series goes, bringing us to a best of 3, and Minibolt's going to ground it. And as I was talking about it, we are now at a best of 3.
Liberty North, I knew they were a team that wasn't going to be counted out. They have some very talented player, and the coaches for that team are ready to see how they stack up in this Rumble. It's a good test for Esports Tower teams to play the Eagles. You can kind of get those teams outside of your ecosystem. You can be brought in some strategies you're not necessarily used to.
Yeah, and also definitely in game number 2, we saw Hawk is quite the playmaker. But, I mean, when you've got Hawk and Cameron on both teams now, well, you got 1 on each team, that means we're pretty equally matched. So it's up to the other 2 people on those teams to facilitate your playmakers if necessary, or the playmakers just take a step back and start facilitating your other teammates so that you're not as easily taken advantage of in those situations where people are like, oh, I know you're going for a goal. And if you decide then to do the meta play and just toss it to a teammate, well, you've already pushed a defender out of the way and your teammate probably can get a goal.
Well, speaking of those other 2 players, the coaches tell us that the Hammerheads have been working a lot on individual play style and just trying to improve that individual skill from first touches to just making smart decisions about where to play and how to play. We'll see if some other players besides Cameron can rise up. So far, they have been a fairly cohesive unit, all things considered.
Yeah, we've not seen a lot of double commits and collisions, just people having breakdowns and rotations or communicating between each other. So that's great, showing that even if we have newer players here for Esports Tower, they don't need a whole lot of time to find their groove. However, Hawk is doing what Hawk does best and sailing through the air, but is going to be pushed out of the way by Cameron. And it does look like Electrolyte will get demoed in the process as well.
Hawk steals the clear away from the Hammerheads, leaving it for Electrolyte. Cameron's going to try again and pushes it to mid. Minibolt's having a bit of trouble rotating over thanks to Ray, but the side control still goes in favor of Liberty North. They've been putting all the pressure onto the Hammerheads, but are going to be late on that follow-up, allowing a clear almost goal from Cameron.
Cameron, though, unfortunately, that was such a powerful strike into the goal. It was easily set back with as much force. Crossing over to Hammerhead territory, Toke looking to grab it here and send it to the mid. Stopped by Electrolyte. Elevation from Cameron. They have to get it across Minibolt. Minibolt sends it to the side, just barely. Raisin tries to center it up. Toke now coming in, but has Hawk pop it up over them. Cameron goes for the challenge in the back 30 Hammerhead territory, thwarted by Minibolt.
Ball is up extremely high. Toke whiffs on that clear, leaving it for Ray. Opportunity for Liberty North. They are going to be able to clear it into the near corner. Trying to center it, but Minibolt's going to have to rotate in and try to get it again. Set it up again. Now it's Hawk going to follow up. No, Toke and Ray are going to take it away from them. Dangerous situation. And they just barely get away with it.
Almost a full another minute has elapsed here without a goal for either team. So 2 minutes in, no one finding the back of the net. As I'm saying, no Electrolyte's telling me I need to be quiet. Crossing almost into the 3-minute mark, we do have Liberty North putting first goal on the board for either team.
First touch on the kickoff goes in favor of Electrolyte, leaving Cameron immediately on the defense. Hawk bounces it off the wall, and that shot's going to go more in favor of the Hammerheads, allowing them to set up. Shot on goal off the crossbar again. Toke with the follow-up, and third shot is going to be just too much for Liberty North to defend against.
That fourth man, though, on those first 2 was quite clutch for Liberty North. Didn't move, didn't have to. Ball got bounced out twice. They just unfortunately could not find the follow-up clear. Now ball is inside the Hammerhead defensive third. Cameron's going to pop it up. It's going to go to the wall where Electrolyte's waiting. Elevation from Cameron. They have an unfortunate whiff. Toge comes in, sending the ball into the corner. Let's see if they can center it up for their teammates after accidentally colliding with Cameron.
Puck plays it past Ray, but Toke is there as the anchor shot on goal, barely deflected by a mini bolt. Hammerheads are still going to be looking to get into the lead, but Hawk, being right where he needs to be, is able to deflect the shot and leave the Liberty North with some life.
Hawk sends the ball off the back wall inside Hammerhead territory. We have 2 commit from the side of Liberty North at the midfield. Ball gets popped up again in the corner. Raisin sends it to midfield stripe. Hawk gonna corral it. Has Cameron come in and pop it up. Looks like follow-up from Mini Bolt. Still not gonna prevent this ball from being inside Liberty North territory. We have 1 minute and 48 seconds left on this clock. Both teams tied 1 aside. Cameron trying to find an opportunity to get their team in the lead.
Off in the corner, Mini Bolt is able to pick up the 100. Moves up, playing it past Cameron, and a demo helping to clear out the goal and drives it in to put Liberty North back into the lead.
We have 93 seconds left on this clock. Hammerhead's desperately looking to find 1 goal for themselves. Liberty North looking to find 1 to make sure they're in a security position so no buzzer beater situation can occur. Ball is still inside Hammerhead territory. Raisin tries to find the clear, does manage to get it, but a ricochet is off the ceiling. They lose possession. Hawk snatches it off the ground, sends it into the back corner on Hammerhead's defensive half. Hawk off the wall, centers it up for Electrolyte. Electrolyte cuts in, and that's goal number 3 for Liberty North.
This is the biggest lead that they have had so far in this match. Well, save for the 2-goal lead they had last time, but we're not going to talk about that. Electrolyte's just going to try to make it a 3-goal lead as he pushes it toward mid. Not going to find it. And Cameron trying to get some pressure onto Liberty North. They don't buckle at all. Hawk is able to push it back into their own territory. Electrolyte with a shot towards the goal. Deflected by Ray. Now it's Toke in the corner.
Ball just sails right in front of Hammerhead's goal. It's not out of the blue half of the field yet, though. They need to find an opportunity to get it past Liberty North's offense. Electrolyte cuts in, circumventing 2 defenders. No one left to beat them. And that is another goal for Liberty North, putting them in the lead by 3 with 32 seconds on the clock. I think it is safe to say this is GG go next for the Hammerheads. Liberty North is going to put themselves in series point.
They slipped up a little in the first game, but since then, they have been showing no signs of slowing down as Mini Bolt gets 1 touch on it. He's going to go in for the second. Cameron is able to beat him to it. Hawk in mid, is unable to get the redeflect he wanted. Unfortunately, it's going to be an own goal on to Liberty North. Hammerhead's now within 2, but still, they're still going to win.
It could be worse. An own goal when you're in the lead by 3 is not that big of a deal. It's kind of a, if you weren't there, it was going to go, and you being there just kind of assisted. Happens to everyone who plays Rocket League. 3 seconds left on the clock. We can safely say Liberty North walks away with game number 3 victory for themselves and puts themselves at series point in this best of 5.
Now we are to the final game, and I would dare say that I think Liberty North, they've won the last 2 games, but I think they could win these games by wider margins. And the reason I say that is because there's a lot of times in which they've gotten it into the Hammerheads territory, but when it comes to the follow-ups, they're just slow playing it a little bit too much. There are too many times when I've been saying there should be a follow-up here, but there isn't. So I think there are more opportunities for them to find should they play a little faster.
You know, initially I was like, wow, that's throwing some serious shade, but you're right. They are kind of playing into that, I can't figure out the term. It's on the tip of my tongue. I hate press debut. Anyway, they are just, you know, not facilitating themselves completely, and because of that, the amount of goals that they're having is less than what they should, which is strange. It's very strange to see that and say that on desk.
It's almost like they're trying to wait for the clear to come through.
It's self-sabotage. That's what it is.
Well, we'll see if they can iron out all the kinks, because if they just play at their peak performance, they're already a great team. They could beat the Hammerheads in the first round as we head into game 4. Already shot toward the goal, deflected by Cameron. Liberty North starting off where they left off.
Raisin sending the ball into the corner. Electrolyte's going to corral it and send it back to mid. Cameron, though, elevates, sending it across just in front of the stripe, still maintaining possession, looking for an opportunity to center it up either to themselves or a teammate, but instead is going to cycle back into the defensive post position. Electrolyte coming forward, challenged by Cameron. Ball ricochets off the ceiling. Minibolt goes for the shot on goal, and it's too wide.
Everything has been in favor of Liberty North so far, save for only one clear by the Hammerheads. Make that two as Cameron gets the shot. Oh! Cameron keeping the Hammerheads alive, and sometimes all it takes is one goal to turn things around.
Can Cameron please put that in your highlight reel? That was beautiful.
Hawk is going to try to match Cameron. We've kind of had a battle of the egos between the two top fraggers, if you will, for these teams. Tokay is now going to look to make a play himself, but it gets denied by Hawk. Cameron moves in. Hawk again keeping it in the corner. Electrolyte rotates in, gets the clear, but the 50 is not going to go in his favor.
Minibot barely gets that ball hit towards the midfield stripe before one of the Hammerheads came in. Challenged by Cameron before they're able to corral it. Cameron gets it around one, can't get it past Electrolyte. Raisin comes in, tries to play some disruption. Tokay now goes for the shot on goal. It's too slow, and there's no follow-up. Raisin elevates just past midfield stripe, sending the ball to the corner. Cameron now looking to play it past Hawk, gets it past one, but can't get it past Minibolt.
Minibolt's gonna get a double touch. Oh, it just walks it in. It trickles in past the Hammerheads as their first defender whipped on it. None of them were expecting Liberty North to just take it into the goal from there.
I feel like game number one might have been a fluke from Liberty North, or was them warming up, or trying to just gauge the Hammerheads here, because they're playing like a completely different machine than what we saw in game number one. However, Hammerheads still have 3 minutes to put another goal up on that board for themselves and put themselves at match point. It's doable. Let's see if they can. They spent a lot of time in the offensive half. The field double commit from Liberty North could be punished, but it took too long for the Hammerheads to respond.
Enough time for them to recover, push it toward the goal. Looking for his second. He's been putting a lot of shots on goal for Liberty North. Tokay gets the first touch, deflected by Mini again. That's left up to Electro. Electro Knight playing it around. Ray pushes it in front of the goal, but it's just a bit too fast. Hawk instead is going to focus on getting some boost first, then making the play. Cameron is able to play around all three of them. Electro with a quick rotation in, pushes it up, but it's still right for a follow-up last-minute clutch save by Hawk.
Ball goes to the mid, dunk down to Mini. Sends it to Electrolyte, who beams it into the net. This is why I wish we had a replay, because that was a beautiful give and go from all three members. That was well-oiled machine. Off kickoff, we have Hawk send it into the corner. Cameron trying to play it around. Hawk can barely do it. Raisin's going to come in now, has to get it past Electrolyte. Electrolyte chips it to the midfield. Tokay tries to pop it up. Instead, it's going to just throw Minibolt out of the way, but Cameron is going to rotate off the pressure, forcing Raisin to cut in and try and help out.
Shot back toward Liberty North's goal. Ray is going to try to elevate up to dunk it, but the ball just moves a bit too fast, and he's left chasing it. Now Minibolt on the retake. Pushing it past mid, up to Electro, gets a light touch on it. In fact, Liberty North actually opts to slow play this. Just waiting, again, kind of characteristically, for the clear to come through. And they're just able to keep it in mid without it getting too close to their goal.
With minute and 15 seconds roughly left on the clock, Liberty North could either play keep away or try to go for that security goal that they desperately need, because the Hammerheads have shown they're plenty capable of finding equalizer at the last second for themselves. Let's see who's going to respond first, though. Hammerheads definitely need to get this goal, either send us into overtime or get another one on top of it, put themselves at series point. Otherwise, Liberty North wins this one. That's the end of the best of 5 series. Ball is in Liberty North territory, and they've got 50 seconds to make something happen.
Bounce back. Liberty North's near corner. Now Hawk is going to dribble it up, leave it for Minibolt. The ball takes a bad bounce way up high. Is going to deny them their third goal. But Liberty North is able to rotate back. Minibolt sees that he needs to rotate. Now is going to get one touch on it. Be able to juke out one. Hawk wins that 50-50, and it's wide open for Liberty North to take possession.
25 seconds left on the clock. Aerial challenge is whipped by the Hammerheads. Ball sent to the corner. Cameron crossing midfield stripe with possession, pushes it forward. Going to play it off the backboard. Double commit from Liberty North allows the ball to hit the midfield stripe on the ground. 15 seconds, 10 seconds left on the clock now. Hammerheads desperately trying to find another shot in on this goal, but it's keep away game for Liberty North for the next 2 seconds, and that will allow them to close out the series.
Well, congratulations to Liberty North. They got off to a slow start, but they managed to recover beautifully and end this game 3-1 overall. And you know, Nerdy, going at it alone can only get you so far. Ultimately, if you want to increase your chance of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. I think Liberty North had some great examples of that in that final round, being able to play off each other and get the goals that they needed. You can see how far Esports Tower Rumble players have come since the last time they were in the Rumble, and just imagine what Liberty North is going to do with more experience. Esports Tower really takes the time to create teams of well-matched teammates. I'd like to do a shout-out to Coach Jake, and for those of you who are watching who haven't checked out Esports Tower Clubs, you should. It's the fast track to rank up. Well, that is going to do it for the winners final. Liberty North moves on to the winners finals, where the Hammerheads will have another chance to survive. They're down to the lower bracket, though, and on their last life. So we'll see how they do on there. And we'll get back to you on the other side of this bracket to see what team is going to be joining Liberty North later on in the tournament. We'll find out after this.
Build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disaster and feed those left in the cold. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
Growing up in Riggins, we have certain rules we live by. Look both ways before crossing the street. Fishing stories get better the more you tell them. Small town life makes your life anything but small. Never work alone when you go hunting. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
Build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disaster and feed those left in the cold. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
this week's broadcast of Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League, broadcasting from the Boise State Esports Arena. Who will get to join the Eagles, Liberty North Eagles, in the winners finals? We'll leave it up to the Barracudas and Mammoths to trying to avoid falling into the lower bracket. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer. Joining me is Artie Rain, and Artie will certainly have a lot to talk about the Esports Tower teams, which one's going to be joining Liberty North in the winners finals. But before we get to that, we just want to take a moment to congratulate all of the Esports Tower Club members who have graduated from their clubs and been offered scholarships across the country. Over the last 3 months, Esports Tower Club members have received over $3.6 million in scholarship awards. These students have not only worked hard on their in-game play, but academically as well to earn these scholarship opportunities. The players that have received these scholarships are talented, hardworking, and driven. We could not be more excited and proud to see all the opportunities these players are getting.
I think it said like a little over 2.2 million.
I know, Rocket League came into some cash lately.
Wow. I mean, let's be honest, when it comes to like the realm of esports, there's constant shifts and changes and like new heroes, new champions being added to games, and sometimes, you know, your season's great when you're playing League of Legends, and other times your main has been burned into the ground. So you have to learn a whole new champion or go back to an old champion, you're just not as good. Whereas like Rocket League, when you get those core mechanics down, I don't foresee them being buffs and nerfs to cars in Rocket League.
And in fact, when the whole meta is just pick the default car, the Octane, then there you go. You can immediately pick up and play and know that the game is just going to be similar to how it was last time.
It's a perfect game. Like, really. It's confusing, and you need to be a physics or geometry major, but it's a perfect game.
And it's going to be an even more perfect game if you follow Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League. And that is going to be to create mistakes, punish, overcommits, play off the walls better, and demo to disrupt. Brought to you by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. A date with Liberty North Eagles in the winners bracket is on the line for who will advance, the Barracudas or the Mammoths. And both these teams we have seen a lot of. The Barracudas have been focusing mainly on 1v1 drills and are focusing on taking those and implementing. That means a lot of teams have kind of been working on that one-on-one gameplay, that individual scoring. So always nice to have cohesion as a team, but sometimes you need that individual skill to lock it in and get the goals when you need them the most. So you head into the first game.
And it looks like coming in for the Barracudas roster, we've got Supersonic Flat, so a new face, Potato and France, who we've seen before, essentially Boss, Switch, and Torque, a whole new group of players, Switch and Among Us in that name.
I see that.
Yeah, I have to just point that out. That's beautiful. So a whole new Mammoth roster we've not seen before, and 2/3 of the Barracudas being veterans with a new face. It's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out.
Already the Barracudas are putting a bunch of pressure on to the Mammoths. The Mammoths haven't really been able to clear it out at all through this game. Supersonic Flat is going to be moving back, picks up 100 boost, plays it around 1, now looking to play it around 2, and Switch is the only one left, plays it by him as well. Shot is wide, so Barracudas are still going to be looking for their first.
Torque has an unfortunate ricochet off the ceiling, loses possession, Potato cuts in, takes a shot, saved by Switch, but not cleared. Potato goes for the reset, Fran backs up, awkward tee-off from Supersonic on top of Potato, shot on goal, not going to happen for the side of the Barracudas just yet.
Crayon moves it up, it goes way over to the other side of the field. Crayon again with a shot, followed up by Potato, saved by Switch. Despite all the shots by the Barracudas, look at all the saves from Mammoth, but one is finally going to go through from the Barracudas. It's going to be credited to Crayon. Now the Barracudas have a narrow lead, 3 minutes, 34 seconds.
Mammoths definitely have an opportunity to find a clear. There's a hard commit coming out from the Barracudas here, so if they can get that clear, and the follow-up at the midfield, Mammoths will find an opportunity with a breakaway play, but right now Barracudas up by 2 with 3 minutes and 27 seconds still on the clock.
Crayon with the first touch on the kickoff, wins that decisively. Essentially taking a while to respond and is unable to clear. Supersonic going up against 2. Leaves the Mammoths in a risky position. As Barracudas now set it up again. Potato tries to take the chip shot, but it is going to be saved.
Supersonic comes in off that midfield rotation. Protato's going to take out one of the defenders. Cran's going to pop the ball up, hits the backboard. Secondary touch from Sonic also hits the backboard. The third touch will not be there. Torque finds the clear to the midfield, but the follow-up from essentially Boss is going to be a rough one. Cran gets demoed. Supersonic pushing forward with the help of Potato, who's going to touch it off the backboard. No follow-up touch because of the demo onto Cran.
Push back to mid, double touch in the air. He tries to bump Torque out of the way, but they're going to be unsuccessful, and Torque is able to keep the Barracudas at bay, but for only a few seconds as Supersonic moves in again and is denied by Switch.
While still inside Mammoth territory, Supersonic plays it off the backboard, centered up, cleared out by Torque. Ball finally in Barracuda's defensive half. Torque playing it off the wall, has essentially Boss to give the ball to, but unfortunately pushes it too forward, allowing Supersonic flat to send it to the side. Cran now gets it around Switch. There's no one else to beat for the Barracudas, and that's goal number 3.
Barracudas really shown no signs of slowing down thus far. This kickoff is going to be won again in the favor of Supersonic Plat. Crayon quick on the follow-up. Ball's just a little bit high. They try again. Shot is wide back over to the corner. They go flying past that one. That gives Switch enough time to try to clear it, but it's answered back quickly by the Barracudas, and they get their 4th.
Minute 44 seconds still left on the clock. Plenty of time for the Mammoths to start putting some goals in for themselves. Right now, the defense is so strong for the Mammoths. They've held up against an onslaught of just constant attack here from the Barracudas, but you can only hang on for so long before you just start to burn out. Right now, I want to see them win off this kickoff and get a good touch. Unfortunately, Cran just barely beats them to the punch.
And not one shot on goal on their activity feed at all. Everything has been saves. Mammoths are having a tough time switching to offense. They try there, but an awkward bounce is going to push it to the corner. First real chance for the Mammoths to try to get a shot on goal, and essentially, unfortunately for him, whips that. It's actually the slow play might work out, trying to push it in. And they're just going to be denied as essentially gets demoed and then stops the Mammoths' journey.
Ball is now in Mammoth territory, 60 seconds left on the clock. They're still looking for their first goal. Sonic from the mid's gonna elevate, lose possession, shot on goal again from Cran, centered up. Supersonic can't take the follow-up. Essentially, Boss has a lot of pressure being put on them from 2 members of the Barracudas. They lose possession. Potato can't get it around Torque, though. Midfield, Cran's gonna pop it up. Torque elevates, sends it to the side. Beautiful challenge. Now are they going to be able to get the clear? They're unfortunately not able to read the ball before it hits the ground, and so Barracuda is still putting a lot of forward pressure on it.
Potato with the play, jukes out one, but is not going to be able to play out Switch. Switch sends it to the other side of the field. Opportunity essentially is coming down, as well as Torque. They hit it at the same time, meaning there's no follow-up, and it's going to be pushed back toward the goal. Tries an unexpected shot on goal, but Potato is just too fast to play around. That is going to do it for this first round. Barracudas looking like they are not going to be stopped whatsoever so far.
Definitely a rough first game for our new squad coming in, but there could be 2 more games. There could be 4 more games. It's still a best of 5, so they've got the next 5 minutes to even this out and bring us into a best of 3 series, or we will see the Barracudas go to match point.
Yeah, it definitely seems, though, that the Barracudas definitely feel more comfortable in the air is what I'm seeing, you know, and that is really the biggest difference of skill in this match. It's the point where, you know, the casuals are separated from the pros and just how well you can control that car in the air, because it is not by any stretch of the imagination as easy as it looks.
Most definitely, but I will give a shout out to Torque, who's been able to go for those aerial challenges. They're the one that's showing from the side of the Mammoths that they are comfortable to do that. So let's see if Torque can facilitate their team a little bit more, go for the disruption play in the air, and set up more opportunities for their teams. We have essentially Boss going for the challenge, has the miss. Potato off the wall is going to play it, passing away from their own teammate, but shot on goal from Supersonic Plat will go in.
Barracudas already getting back into the lead on this one. Potato beats them to the kickoff. Another thing they've been consistently winning. It's wide open for Crayon, and he takes it gift wrapped for him. question is, can the Mammoths gain any sort of footing back against the Barracudas? That's a better kickoff for them, but they're waiting in the goal for the play to come to them, and the Barracudas are going to say, all right, then we'll push it back toward your goal.
Playing too passively means you're always going to be caught on the back foot or back tire in the realm of Rocket League, and you don't want to be the one responding. You want to be the one making the play like Torque just did, and the follow-up was there. Torque, unfortunately, it's difficult to be the one taking the shot, making the play, and being the follow-up, so hopefully we can get some rotations in from your teammates to help you out next time, because that was almost perfect.
Potato with this pro dribbling, leaving it for Crayon to just get the final tap. Coming in as if you're just the final pitcher, just pitching out the last throw in the ninth, even though it was mainly Potato that drove that up the field. But they're happy to work off each other, keep playing. As Crayon is ready to take it away from Switch, it's going to be successful in doing that. Supersonic Fan trying to play around Torque is going to be unable to beat him. But as Skets goes and turns that around into a demo on essentially clearing at the goal again for the Barracudas. Same move on. 4-0.
Still have 3 minutes and 45 seconds roughly on the clock. Essentially, Boss is going to go and try and snag this ball away from the Barracudas. It's going to be chipped up towards the corner. Shot on goal from Super Flat. And I don't know how Crayon managed to get in there. Replays sometimes help me with my brain. Off kickoff, though, it looks like it's going to be Potato to snag that ball. It's still inside Barracuda territory. Torque takes the shot. Can they get the ball? They will. They'll chip it just into the high corner. And that's goal number 1 for the Mammoths.
That's going to be the first goal for the Mammoths, showing a little bit of life, but they got to keep the goals running, and that's beautifully played by Torque again off the kickoff. Quickly, they bring it into within 3 goals.
Goal roughly every minute and 10 seconds, definitely doable, but the double commit on the kickoff between Crayon and Supersonic worked out in their favor, allowing them to get possession and bring it into Mammoth territory. No one to beat, and Potato finds the goal.
Yeah, Potato has just really been the player to just lie in wait, see the split-second opportunity, and rotate in. Now a goal for each member of the Barracudas. They've all contributed, and Crayon's going to try to contribute even more, but is going to be unable to dunk it down into the goal. Or rather, that was his own goal, so glad he did dunk it down. Now this is the one he wants to dunk it down into, and Potato's going to try to set it up for him. Trying to drive it around the corner. Ball is high. Crayon comes rolling in, but not before Supersonic gets to the ball first, and Potato with an effortless sideways shot.
Was that a barrel roll?
Probably was. I think that was.
Barrel roll.
I mean, they're pretty effortless thus far. 7-2. And the Barracudas looking like they're going to have a huge lead. Make it 8-2 with only half time left. Mammoth struggling to come up with some sort of counterattack as Barracudas keep moving on. Potato tries pushing into the goal, but is going to bounce off the post. Shot off to the backboard. Now the Barracudas just seem more content to just kind of run out the timer on pure side control.
Supersonic, though, it's a great breakaway. And shot on goal with no one else to beat means that's goal number 8 for the Barracudas.
Now a little bit over 2 minutes. Switch gets to, they're going to let Switch have the kickoff first. Now move it on to Torque. Barracudas are able to get a deflection. It's not going to go past mid. Opportunity for...
Great center up the Switch.
Moves in there, and the Mammoths now drive to their 3rd goal. 2 minutes left in this match.
Off kickoff, we have 4 people commit to the opportunity to get possession. It's going to be Cran, though. Brings it in front of the goal center, set up for Potato, just barely chips it in. And that's goal number 9 for the Barracudas.
Huge lead for the Barracudas, now up by 6 goals. It would have to be quite a rally from the Mammoths to win this. Have to be on the level of a Mariners Blue Jays rally, but it doesn't look like that's quite in the cards thus yet.
I appreciate you bringing that reference in. Let's see, Torque, though, does manage to stop a opportunity for a clear here. Ball is inside Barracuda territory at the mid. Supersonic flat pops up over 1. Torque's going to elevate. Potato goes to the challenge, though. Ricochets off the ceiling a little awkwardly, and somehow still manages to roll into the Mammoth's net. So that's goal number 10 for the Barracudas.
1 minute 21 seconds left in this second game. Double digits already broken by the Barracudas. Crayon with another shot on goal is going to make it 11.
At the end of this game, there are 2 Barracudas are going to put themselves at match point, but out of the cards yet is not a reverse sweep opportunity for the Mammoths, but they're going to have to clean up some of these commitment opportunities that we've seen. We'll have to see if they can definitely start bringing out the speed that we're having from the Barracudas here in this game. Supersonic Plat playing the ball off the back wall, is going to dunk it down. Elevation from Switch. Can they keep it in the air? They can, and they get it over 1, but Potato cuts in finally at the last second, sends it right into the corner of Mammoth territory.
Supersonic Plat isn't able to quite play off the angle. They're just going to have to settle for a demo onto Essentially and let the open goal speak for itself. 12th goal by the Barracudas. Yet again, the Barracudas win another kickoff as well. Mammoths are just going to have to try to play for the next game. And at this point, there's really nothing they can do. Half a minute left before the Barracudas move on to match point. Essentially is going to miss the shot. And kind of a bit of bumper cars going on in midfield. Supersonic Plant is able to get a shot on goal. Deflects off one of their own team members, I think Potato in that instance. In this case, you really need 13 goals instead of 12.
No, you don't. Truly. I want to see Essentially Boss either in this game, yes, in game number 3, I want to see Essentially Boss get a goal.
Yeah, Essentially Boss has definitely been trying, but shots have been evading him thus far, and I think the other thing that's really kind of standing out to me, not is just the difference in aerial plays, but I think the Barracudas are just so consistently winning these kickoffs and getting the first touches.
Unfortunately, learning kickoff momentum and how to pull off a kickoff properly is a huge skill. It takes time. Trust me on this one, it's not easy. And doing it right means you beat someone to the ball if they're just hitting down on gas. So it's really important to understand what the acrobatics that go into it, and if you don't have those down, it's going to mean you're not going to make it to it, and that's unfortunately what's happening right now.
Yeah, it takes a lot of skill on making sure that you get those dashes down. You have the right angle. The Mammoths are definitely going to be left with a glimmer of hope as they score the first goal. Actually, no. I have to say, actually, looking at the names here, it does look like we have a UI. Yeah, a side swap. So, you know what? I was just hoping a little bit too much for a comeback. But the Barracudas are going to show us that they have no plans of slowing down.
It's the Barracudas. We are not surprised by that. Essentially, Boss is going to push the ball to the side. Fran, though, grabs it off the wall. Torque returns the favor, trying to dunk it down. Fran will elevate, send it back into the corner. Potato tries to corral it. Switch, pushing Fran out of the play, going for a little bit more of a disruptive style. So Torque maintaining possession, unfortunately loses it at the last second, so Fran's going to grab it and bring it into the air. Looking to dunk it down into that net, but Switch will push it to the side.
First minute has passed with not too many goals scored, maybe just 2 if Crayon gets what he's looking for, and he does. So now with 4 minutes, 13 seconds left, Barracuda's back into a comfortable lead. Further up the field, a demo onto Essentially Boss means the Barracudas are going to have an even easier time trying to get this goal.
Double commit onto the Barracudas offense there does mean they have to call for help from their teammates. 4-car pile up in front of the net. Ball gets cleared to the side. Switch with possession. Has to get it around Potato, but Potato just chips it over to the side. Torque now trying to push it forward. Cran stopping it before it even crossed the area of the bounding goal box.
Potato just waits as that shot had no momentum to it, even it wide open for Potato to just drive it into the goal from there on out.
Off this kickoff, Potato's going to win it. It will ricochet off of Essentially Boss. Switch trying to rotate back, get possession. Fran, though, tries to take a shot. Stopped by Switch, who's been making a lot of great saves, but they're not being attributed because the game doesn't count them as being goal-scoring opportunities. Nonetheless, though, Switch, I see you. You're doing a lot of movement.
But another goal for Crayon drives him to yet another hat trick for this match. They are stacked on top of each other at this point. And another demo onto Supersonic Plat. The Barracudas are just having no mercy whatsoever.
Essentially, Boss pushes the ball forward, but no teammates are there for them, unfortunately, so possession immediately switches back to Barracuda's. Torque tries to go for the challenge, but can't. Off the ground, though, Switch pushing it to the side. Ball's in Barracuda territory. They just need to put the pressure here onto Potato and stop letting them just walk away with these ball possessions. But Potato now is just going to try and dunk it down into the net. Great save coming out from, I believe that was Torque. Now Torque going to push forward towards the goal. Shot on, going to be thwarted by Crayon.
Switch with a shot deflected by Potato. Crayon now is going to try to dunk it down, but the follow-up from Potato is just going to go wide. So now it's Torque and Switch trying to find the clear. They're going to have their own boost stolen away from them by Potato, who is just dancing around them one at a time. Crayon is going to take it to the other side. Torque with a shot down mid. We actually have a roll one, I see, back towards.
Wait, what?
Yep, we indeed do. It's 2-on-2.
Oh, you know, it's been a long time. I love me some good roll ones.
But of course, that just could be ended if Potato almost gets the goal there, but it isn't going to go all the way in. Soccer rules still fly.
Oh,
it looks like the rule one is broken up.
They broke it themselves. That's bad juju, but it's good juju for the Mammoths.
I think they're going to be pretty comfortable tempting fate with the lead they have. Well, actually, maybe you don't tempt fate because the Barracudas were the Mammoths are going to be the ones to get that goal. That side UI thing still messing me up. And in case you are joining us wondering why we're up-talking the Barracudas so much when it looks like they're not in the lead, it's just a UI issue. The Barracudas are in blue, and essentially from the Mammoths are going to get demoed. The Barracudas are going to be able to find the save they're looking for. Crayon plays it back into the corner with a minute and a half left. Potato, another goal for the Barracudas. They're at 5-1, looking like they're going to wrap this up tonight.
Minute 24 seconds left on the clock going into kickoff. It looks like Supersonic Plat, unfortunately, might have some controller DC issues, so it'd be like that sometimes. Torque now going forward, challenges Potato, ball hits the ceiling, drops down to essentially Boss, who flips it forward, gets it past Crayon, but Potato comes in, allowing the double point to work out in favor of the Barracudas.
Now we just have a minute in this third game, and the Barracudas looking like they're going to be moving on to the winners finals to meet up with Liberty North. Unless a huge rally comes through for the Mammoths, and their Switch tries to make it happen, but he loses the ball in mid, and Supersonic just rotates in and quickly picks it up, leaves it for Crayon, and that's 6-1.
That's the first thing Supersonic has done all game.
Well, you know, sometimes when you come back from what looks like a DC, you can do things.
Apparently.
As we're going into the final half minute, Torque is going to be looking to try to push it up, and he gets demoed in his quest. Left for Crayon. And another shot on goal is going to make it the classic Brazil for the Barracudas.
I was waiting. I was waiting.
I'm always going to take that time to make that reference.
Supersonic going to go off the corner. Collide a switch, send the ball into Barracuda territory. No, that is Mammoth territory. UI now tripping me up too. Potato tries to get a touch on it. Torque's just going to shove them forward. Essentially, Boss gets demoed, not sure by who. That was an unfortunate circumstance. Potato now going forward, looking for a shot on goal. Just going to play off that back wall. Follow-up from Supersonic Plat means that the Barracudas are now in the lead by 7. Yes, they're up at 8. In the lead by 7. 3 seconds left on the clock. Kickoff. Gonna hit the ceiling. Essentially, Boss gets the goal. Yes. Okay, Essentially, Boss, you did exactly what I requested of you at the last possible second. So thank you, my friend.
Well, if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured Rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Well, we have our two teams all set up. The Barracudas taking on Liberty North. So now is the chance that we kind of get to take a look back at the two teams that are going to be going up against each other and see overall what they have going for them.
It'll be interesting. I wish the Barracudas luck because they cannot underestimate Liberty North.
Alrighty. Yeah, you can't because Liberty North, even though they slipped a little, from then on out, they were in control, so both the teams meeting each other have shown a lot of confidence getting to the winners finals. We'll have to see how it plays out for them. But our next bracket is in fact going to be the lower semis. We'll see who can recover tonight, the Hammerheads or the Mammoths, and move on with a shot at getting to the grand finals. We'll get back with that third game after this break, so please don't go away.
Growing up in Riggins, we have certain rules we live by. Look both ways before crossing the street. Fishing stories get better the more you tell them. Small town life makes your life anything but small. Never work alone when you go hunting. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
We're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disaster and feed those left in the cold. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
Of the Esports Tower Rumble and Rocket League, broadcasting from the Boise State Esports Arena. It's time for our lower bracket semifinals. Who will keep their Rumble hopes alive? The Mammoths and Hammerheads face off, trying to advance to next week's lower finals. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer, joined now by Artie Rain, and this is going to be the final bracketed match that we have for this. After this match, we'll move on to a special show match to close things out for the night. But this is the big important one. Who is going to get knocked out? It has to be one or the other.
Yeah, your Zuko redemption arc stops here after your best of 5 here. Hopefully both teams go in and start immediately swinging, to put it in the nicest of terms, because I don't want anyone treating game number 1 like it's okay to lose it, because your safety net's gone. You need to put yourself in the lead as much as possible, as quickly as possible.
Yep, someone's going to regain their honor, and someone's going to be left on a wild goose chase searching for someone who died 100 years ago. So it's going to be either one of those two, and to determine who that's going to be, you want, of course, to listen to your wise master. Unfortunately, we don't have Uncle Iroh to give us the keys, so Doc is going to have to do instead. Let's get to Doc's keys to the game for Rocket League. That is going to be to create mistakes, punish overcommits, play off the walls better, and demo to disrupt. Doc's keys to the game are brought to you by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. So who will keep their Rumbles hopes alive for next week? It's going to be time for the lower bracket semifinals. Hammerheads versus Mammoths. Let's get down to the field and see who is going to claim the glory for themselves in the third game of our bracketed stage tonight. Again, this is lower bracket, so whoever loses gets knocked out. Let's get to the action.
And it does not look like we've had any roster swaps, so we'll have the returning Cameron, Toke, and Raisin for the Hammerheads, and the Mammoths will have essentially Boss, Switch, and Torque. Ball currently inside the Mammoth territory. Looks like Raisin is going to try and center it up, but thwarted by Torque.
Shot way back over to the other side of the field. Switch is going to get control of it. Toke's left chasing after, and Ray is going to be able to bail him out. Now moves in to play around essentially. Boss demos into the process, and the shot is just barely wide.
Boss, just because of the last game and how this first game just started, there's an old Doc's keys to the game we rarely talk about. It's called allaying the demos. I am such a demo-happy caster that you, my friend, need to learn to allay them. You spent a lot of time on that respawn screen when you shouldn't be, and I feel very bad about it.
4 minutes left, and both teams kept to a scoreless tie. Cameron puts another shot on both, saved by Tor. Toke is going to beat Switch to the ball, and no wonder Switch doesn't have any boost at the moment. They're able to fill out, but Toke is showing no signs of slowing down. Puts a shot on the goal, leaves it up for Ray on the follow-up. Cameron is waiting gingerly for the rotation here. Waiting for essentially, now moves in to make his play. Not before a shot on goal goes through, and the Hammerheads move in to the 1-goal deficit.
Okay, essentially. You got demoed, but it's okay. You got the goal. That time, we'll accept the demo.
So now this is a great start for the Mammoths. After such a bitter defeat last time, for them to be in a 1-goal lead is going to be a great confidence boost for them. They are still in this tournament, not going to be counted out. They're still left trying to defend as a lot of shots on goal are going through by the Hammerheads, including by Cameron here, and he's going to find it for the equalizer.
Still have 3 minutes and 20 seconds on this clock. With the It's Complicated 0-0, both teams tied. Could go either way. Kickoff doesn't really... What in the Nuggets just happened? Both people that went for the kickoff kind of just threw each other off the ball. Neither one got demoed. They kind of just got sent back towards where they started. Toke now pops the ball up over one. Tries to get it past Boss. It's going to be Cameron. Ball's going to take an awkward ricochet. Died down at midfield. Raisin comes in, takes the shot on goal. Sent to the side by Switch. Follow-up from Raisin. Cameron tries to prevent the clear. It's going to be Toke, who has no one in front of them, no one to beat because nobody's home, and that's going to be another goal for the Hammerheads.
First touch in favor of Cameron. Are they going to be follow up on that? They're going to, both Toke and Ray are actually going to move back and slow play it so they can get some boost. And they still manage to walk away with the side control. As Torque gets demoed. Mammoth's now left defending with 2. Switch pushes it past mid with the pass over through. Essentially, the angle isn't quite right. The redirect does not go through.
Oh, Torque took out Cameron. I thought Torque got taken out there.
The end, I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference if Toke can just put another shot on goal and fresh off the respawn. There goes Cameron. Ball is high. Going to drop down in front of the goal. Back over to essentially another pass between those two teammates. But it doesn't go toward a goal.
Ball is in Hammerhead territory. Torque goes to the elevation against Toke. We've got essentially off the wall. Looks to push it towards the net. Angle was just a little bit too shallow and too far down. Cameron now is going to push it forward. Gets a great clear. 2 wide. He's going to be chased after by Torque. Cameron goes for the challenge. Ray's on the ground. He's going to try and pop this ball up, and instead going to leave it for Toke. Some great rotations coming out right now for the Hammerheads.
Shot from Ray out of the corner, unexpected. All 3 get demoed in the process. And a bit of a celebration from the Hammerheads.
Dang, that was a little evil.
And even more so, Toke's going to be looking for the 4th goal, but doesn't get the shot he wanted. Another demo brought out onto the Mammoths. Yeah, definitely the Hammerheads are demo happy right now. It's redirect from Cameron back towards the goal that was so well aimed, leaves it for Ray. And again, the explosions go all over the field in the wake of the goal.
I think they literally jumped into the net and the Domo mouth crushed them.
Ah, that's a nice touch for the animation then.
I did never notice that before. If that is the case, that's weird, but I like it. Anyway, we have Switch and Toge going for a challenge here. Toge is going to be the one left with it, dunks it down to Cameron, but Cameron whips it, essentially leaving it to Switch. Switch going forward. Brain, though, gets into that passing lane, steals it away, pops it up, just has to get it past one, is going to just make it go sailing over them. Yes, they get sucked in and eaten. That is what's happening.
Okay.
All right,
I
that's
like
a little,
that.
I think they added in the vacuum part of that, because it didn't used to do that.
Yeah, it didn't used to do that, but I like that it does it now.
It was like a 2.3 gig update that just got sent out for Rocket League. It was probably just all cosmetic and stuff like that.
2.3 gigs to add the vacuum effect.
It was literally like over 2 gigs of an update for Rocket League, and both a large bagel and I stared at each other like, why is Rocket League got this huge update? And we're like, cosmetics. And truly, that's all it needs. It's a perfect game, as we said.
Shot is going to be waterfall down in front of the Hammerhead's goal. Essentially tries to take the quick shot and got to hand it out to Essentially. He's been playing his heart out.
All right, they can take a few touches here. They got to get this clear to the side, not in front. The angle was just far enough to the side that Toge couldn't capitalize on it. That's what we need. Essentially pops it up over Cameron. It's in the corner here. Cameron goes for the challenge. Let's see. Switch goes for the challenge. Bull whip on it. Ray, as opposed to trying to reset, just decides to take out Torque in the process. 3 seconds left on the clock. See who walks away with the first game victory. It's definitely going to be the Hammerheads based off the scoreboard, but Mammoths showing us they came here to fight for their last chance.
Well, the Mammoths, I got to say, what I like that I'm seeing from them is essentially I'm seeing a lot of passes toward him, and he's receiving a lot of them too. It's just the redirects in mid-air that need to be improved. But I'm definitely seeing the plays coming out from the Mammoths that they want to make.
Yeah, and the core mechanics are definitely a lot cleaner than we saw earlier. We're seeing clears that are actually done purposefully and done off to the side, not just kind of hit forward and praying for something to happen and it actually making its way out of the defensive half of the field. Instead, it's getting cleared to the side, to the wall. Someone's ready to go for it. It's just unfortunately, as we mentioned earlier with some of our other teams, the follow-up is just not quite there yet, whether it be rotation timing or just communication. We don't know because, after all, we aren't in those headsets. But they're improving, and from the first game we saw to this game, there is definitely a huge stride in progress being made.
But the Barracudas still have a lot of momentum behind them. And I mean, I'm sorry, not the Barracudas, the Hammerheads. They're both aquatic animals, so sometimes they get mixed up. But still, I mean, they have a Barracudas-like lead, ending at 5-1. We'll see if they can get that in the second game as we head on to the next match in this best of 5. It's Hammerheads versus the Mammoths. Are Mammoths going to be able to equalize this match, or will Hammerheads keep moving on toward a win? Go on to the first kickoff. Goes in favor of Essentially, but there is no follow-up. Plenty of time for Hammerheads to recover. Moving forward up the field, Cameron takes the shot on goal, and it just almost heads in. Essentially barely.
Back to back. That was beautiful.
Okay, if there's ever kind of a save play of the game there instead of just all goals, then that would be it, because Essentially was on fire.
Yeah, literally, like, it looked like Essentially got one save on one half the net, hit the ground, immediately redirected to the other side of the net. Beautiful, Essentially. That took some skill.
They're going to have to defend still as Essentially tries to play it off the wall, but it doesn't find the clear, so it's up to Switch. They just barely get it past mid and manage to beat Toge on the 50.
Ball gets dunked down by Cameron right for the midfield stripe. Essentially, it's Switch looking for an opportunity to do a give and go. Essentially barely pushes it forward enough, but Toge gets there first before any of the Mammoths. Torque goes for the challenge, gets it. Has to leave it though, so Cameron comes in for the Hammerheads. Not what the Mammoths are looking for here. Switch off the wall, doesn't have to get a touch, but just has to play disruption, and is enough of a force to cause an awkward shot and pile up there for the Hammerheads. Torque, little pressure, gets it around Cameron, Essentially comes in. They have Torque for the give and go. Toge jumps over them, gets the touch on the ball. Switch comes in themselves, dunks it down, but it goes to Ray.
Back to Essentially, pushing it up past everybody. It's just left up to Cameron, who finds the clear.
Switch clears to that side of the field. Double commit from the Mammoths. Does result in the ball hitting midfield stripe. Torque now looking for an opportunity. Gets pushed around by Cameron. A little bit of unnecessary roughness there, my friend. Toge now with possession, but the ball is inside the Hammerheads defensive half. Let's see if they can push across midfield stripe. They shall. Torque is there, though, looking for an opportunity to prevent the gear from completely being capitalized on. Double commit from the Hammerheads will allow them to get it into the back third.
Demo onto essentially, that's the main person the Mammoths need to make their plays. He's going to be sent back to start as it is. Now we're going to go toward the midfield marker. 0 goals being scored by the other teams, but I get the feeling that the Hammerheads are just lying in wait for their first goal. Essentially, he's going to try to flick it off, keep control of it. Not going to be able to. Toke gets to the ball. Torque with a save. Cameron now to follow up.
Cameron's going to do some great aerial play, but not gain a lot of forward momentum. Their teammate uses them as a tee-off, though, and that's going to be a goal for the Hammerheads.
Well, if you look at the shots on goal, it's really no wonder. Ray especially has been putting a lot of shots toward the Mammoths. Shot back toward mid from Cameron. Off the wall. Not going to be off the wall by Toke, but Cameron puts another shot on goal. Saved by Switch. Ray to elevate up. Ready to dunk it down into the goal. Cameron finds it, and the Hammerheads go to 2-0.
2 minutes left on the clock. Well, 2 minutes, 2 seconds. That's 1 minute and 1 second per goal for the Mammoths if they're looking to equalize this. I believe in them to do it, but they need to not let Cameron win off kickoff.
Ball rounded and over to Switch. And Ray takes it away from them. Essentially, last minute comes in for another save. That's his 4th so far for this game.
Toke comes in, sends the ball into the corner. Switch is going to push it forward to Torque. Torque has to get it before Ray, but Ray unfortunately read it well and played patiently. Did snag it, essentially now going forward. Has to beat 2 people. Cannot, unfortunately, as Toke elevated. Challenge from Torque on Toke. Ball at midfield stripe. Cameron racing to get possession.
Now that Cameron has possession, he's going to get a double tap in midair. Just let it waterfall down past 2. All of the Mammoths are kind of bunched up in front of the goal right now, and it's not going to do them any favor. Switch is barely able to save that goal. Cameron again with another shot, still wide.
We are now squeaking into that 60-second territory. Hammerhead in the lead by 2 means Mammoths have 30 seconds per goal from this point onward. If they're looking to equalize this one out, essentially Boss looked waiting for the opportunity to cut into there. Could not, unfortunately, rotate in fast enough, meaning Toke got goal number 3 for the Hammerheads. 51 seconds left on the clock.
Shot by Cameron, plays off the wall, back to Switch. Toke is waiting to make the play. Moves up the field, shot on goal, goes forward, makes it 4 for the Hammerheads. Almost certainly moving on to match point now.
Hammerheads are definitely going to be getting their redemption arc moving forward. The question is, are they out for revenge, or are they going to befriend the Avatar? That is the question of the day. We'll have to wait and see for next week, because this is going to be the end of our bracket series for this week, because our next match is not going to be our grand finals. Instead, it is going to be a show match. We'll have to wait and see how that one goes. But for now, we've got Switch pushing forward. They've got 23 seconds. They can definitely put a goal in. Question is, are they going to have the follow-up? They might. Essentially, Boss going to prevent this ball from crossing midfield. Stripe just barely. I'm going to count it as they did. Are they going to go for the challenge? They need to go for this challenge. They can't just let Toke take their shots. They're going to ground it into the side, corral it. They've got 4 seconds. Got to keep it in the air now. I really hope the Hammerheads aren't trying to score a 5th goal. They don't need to. Just let the Mammoths walk away with it. Let them keep it in the air and score the goal. Never mind, Raisin.
Well, that's going to do it for the second match. Hammerheads now on to match point. And it looks like they're going to be moving on to the lower finals if nothing changes. So the Mammoths have to get a major rally. And what do you think is the main thing?
That wasn't match point. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what is the main thing keeping them from the rally at this point?
The Mammoths?
Mm-hmm.
It really is the fact that they are not following up on the opportunities. They are letting the Hammerheads get possession. They're not putting pressure on the Hammerheads. Instead, they're watching. They're watching the play happen as opposed to forcing something else to change or putting themselves in the play. And you can't be doing that. You need to be an active participant.
Let us watch the match.
Yes, that's our job.
Yeah. Well, we will get into the third game, and we'll see if the Hammerheads can move on. Show no signs of slowing down, or if the Mammoths can take another goal away from them and work on from there. Hammerheads trying to let it waterfall down into the goal. Not going to find it.
And it does look like we have one of our Mammoth players had to leave, so we've essentially lost Torque, and then Free Ink. It's been a very long time since we've seen you, but welcome back. So our returning Esports Tower face filling in round out that roster for game number 3 here for the Mammoths.
Torque pushes it to mid. Free Ink moves and is still unable to push it past the midfield marker. Still going to be left searching for that side control. As Ray moves in, and Cameron with the follow-up plays it off the wall, and it is wide.
Essentially, Boss unfortunately drove a little bit too quickly, loses possession. So Torque gonna come in and help them out. Does get popped up towards the mid. Raisins there. We have Torque rotate back to the defensive post. Ball is at an awkward angle. The save attempt was there, but the follow-up from Cameron meant that the goal was guaranteed, and Hammerhead find goal number 1 for themselves just under 1 minute.
Torque pushes it into the corner. Cameron back toward the goal. Ray is going to be left in the corner as Cameron takes the Mammoth zone boost away from them, and Toke sees the opening after the triple commit and capitalizes.
That is goal number 2 for the Hammerheads. Putting yourself in the lead by 2 typically means that you've solidified your victory, but doing it early on doesn't mean as much, especially with how these games have been going. We've seen the Mammoths score 2 goals. Something they're more than capable of doing. The Hammerheads need to start putting a lot more on that scoreboard in order to maintain this lead, but Torque, fantastic breakaway play. It's going to be thwarted by Raisin, who sends it to the mid. Cameron flicks it forward further and sends it to the opposite side of the center of the field.
Oh, unfortunate play by the Mammoths. 2 of their teammates miss that. That lets the Hammerheads get even more control. We have 3 minutes left in this match. Toke centers it, leaving it for Cameron, but they're going to be beaten to the ball by essentially picks up another save.
Raisin's going to elevate. Attempts to corral this ball here in the corner. Toke pinched it down to Raisin. Torque elevates, gets it over 1, can't get it past Cameron. Toke and it looks like Raisin are unfortunately piled up on one another in that goal box. They are going to fight for midfield control. Centrally gets a great breakaway. They just need to stop hesitating here and need to go in and not let possession immediately swap over.
Cameron dribbling up the field. Stolen away by Freelink, essentially sees the open goal. It's wide to the right. That would have been a huge goal. It would have put the Mammoths within striking distance to equalize this back up, but they're still going to be left searching. Free Ink to play it above Toke. Move it with a nice pop off his roof, but not going to find the goal. It bounces off the crossbar.
And unfortunately, follow-up rotations are not fast enough. We got Raisin going against 2-on-1. Ball's not leaving Hammerhead territory. Toke elevates, dumps it down to Cameron right in their own goal. Very risky play. Cross map shot going to be stopped by Torque, who pops up to Free Ink. Now looks like essentially Boss going to get the opportunity to bring this one forward, pop it up, try to get it past Toke. Instead, it's going to use Toke to center it up. Unfortunately, follow-up not there fast enough. Free Ink at the midfield, stops the ball from crossing midfield. Greg takes the shot on goal in doing so as well, but Cameron sends it to the side.
Shot back by Toke. Stopped by essentially. Here goes Ray again. A lot of fighting in mid. Mammoths are going to be left to a lot narrower of a lead as Free Ink gets demoed on the side of the Mammoths. His 2 teammates are still doing a good job fighting. Essentially, he's come in though for the save. As soon as they say that, they get scored on a 3rd time.
1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. That's roughly 33 seconds per goal if you're rooting for the Mammoths right now. It's not impossible, but it's definitely going to be gosh darn difficult with the momentum control heavily in favor of the Hammerheads. That's something that it's a banned word for us here on Desk, but I'm going to use it anyway. Hammerheads have all the momentum they need right now.
Cameron playing back across mid. Demo onto Toke. See what the Mammoths need to change things around. Toke moves up the wall, leaving it for Cameron in just 30 seconds left.
All right, Cameron, you don't need to be flashy anymore. It's match point. We get it.
Essentially demoed, and that is most likely game, I would say. It is all set and match. Hammerheads moving on to the lower finals to face off whoever loses the winners finals. So that means their next match, they can't be too comfortable because their next match is either going to be Liberty North or the Barracudas. So still very tough match ahead of them. Hammerheads get the 5th goal for themselves. Now just 10 seconds left before we end this.
Kickoff goes in favor of essentially Boss. Centered up perfectly, and Free Ink unfortunately can't get there fast enough. That would have been like picture perfect. It would have made me so happy, but it's okay, I get it. Now ball hits the ground, that is it. Game's over. Hammerheads walk away with 3-0 victory.
Congratulations to the Hammerheads for moving on to the lower finals. But before we end tonight, we got a show match for everybody, just because that last match was kind of quick. We will be getting back to the Barracudas and the Mammoths, and you might be saying to yourself, wait a minute, these two teams faced off against each other in our second match. The rosters are a bit different, I'm told, for this match. So I hope that's not the only thing that's different, okay? If this is a show match, I want to see some drop shot. I want to see some heat seeker. I want to see hockey. I just want to see something brought out. You want to see Hot Wheels, I know.
Yeah, that wish is never going to be granted. The only people that made that wish happen one time was the ICCU squad, and I appreciate them so much for that. Like, you don't understand how much I love Hot Wheels, and so that made my day. So if they do it again in the future, I'll take it. But for now, I get it, Esports Tower. You can just laugh at me. I get it. You can't really see things in the air on that map, but it's still pretty.
Still standard Carball and the standard arena.
So we got Potato, YY, and Cran for the Mammoths. That's a different squad. We got Gababy, Adrift, and Crazy Cat. Crazy Cat, it's been a minute, my friend. It's good to see ya.
Baby plays off the wall, stopped by Potato. Back to mid. Adrift elevates up, and the demo from Crazy Cat onto Crayon. Leaves the Mammoths still trying to defend. Gababy now moves forward, sees the goal for the Barracudas, and it's just deflected. They call him double Y.
That's valid. Crazy Cat collides with one on the wall. Oh, Crazy Cat sent in a selfie. Thank you, bestie. Now we got Gababy pops the ball to Crazy Cat. Gababy going in for the follow-up, losing some momentum, tries to have Adrift there to help out. Ball gets into the side instead.
Potato moves up the field. Crazy Cat is able to deflect it off to the side. Baby unable to clear, instead it goes way back into Barracuda's territory. So Potato has a shot here. Gonna ground it. Crayon comes with the follow-up, and it's just gonna barely trickle in.
What? I didn't think that was gonna work.
Well, the Mammoths now have themselves a lead. Already a demo from Double Ryan to Gababy. It's been a while since I've seen Gababy demo. He's usually pretty fast around the field.
I mean, when you have to play around Nano, you kind of get used to it.
Oh my goodness, it is. They are going after. It's a demolition derby on the field.
It's fine. It's all in good fun between rivals.
Shot goes from Crayon back to the Barracudas. Crazy Cat is going to get a nice deflect. Push it all the way back to Mammoths. Who's going to be the defensive play? Looks like it's going to be double Y. Back up the field. Baby now needs to play around Potato. Unable to do it. Crazy Cat tries to keep the ball from being centered. It's going to head back to Crayon in mid.
I'm not positive X13 Adrift is Adrift Lemmings or not. I'm going to say it is, just because of every single one of these players being a returner. They're playing definitely more passive than we're used to seeing. It could possibly be due to the fact that they have Gababy on their team. Gababy now centering the ball up, has an opportunity, gets past one, but unfortunately off the reset, cannot flick the ball in.
Crazy Cat playing back across mid. Crayon moves in. Shot toward goal is just denied.
Ooh, midfield shot, hits the crossbar.
2 minutes left in this match, and Mammoths just barely holding on to their very narrow lead. That demo onto Crazy Cat might clear things up for them, get an insurance goal for themselves. The Barracuda's going to be rallying back. A drift shot way towards goal from downtown, saved by Crayon.
YY pops the ball up. We have Potato dunk it down, challenged by one of our Barracudas players. Baby now with possession, brings it into the corner, taken away by Grant, challenged by Crazy Cat. Ball is going to be awkward ricochet across the map from Grant. I do think that hit one of the Barracuda's members, but either way, that is another goal for the Mammoths.
Considering how things have gone thus far, 2-goal lead is rather huge for the Mammoths, but they're going to get demoed on as Gababy tries to even it up off the kickoff. It's unsuccessful as the Mammoths just barely hang on. Gababy tries again. Crazy Cat is waiting for the follow-up, but instead going to have to play defense. He moves back towards his own goal. Demo onto Potato. Crayon is played around by Gababy. Potato fresh off the respawn. Not going to be able to rest at all. Adrift gets a shot into the goal. Now we're back to a 1-goal game.
There was a lot of demos. There was a time where our Bacchus mod, our overlay, tracked demolitions. I missed that time. I need to start doing it myself because there was so many demos back to back. It has been a gasoline bath on that field, and I love it. I am here for it.
Less than a minute left. Crazy Cat is actually going to have to wait as his teammates try to get into a safer location. Gababy is going to leave it for him, but he missed.
You don't need it. You don't need it. Beautiful.
Now 40 seconds left and we're all tied up again. Crayon moving up. Crazy Cat with a double touch in midair and it deflects by Potato.
It's skirted by the ceiling, didn't touch it. Gababy has a shot saved by Double Y. Crayon there leaves it for Potato, so we can see that they are definitely working well together, but Crazy Cat back-to-back demos. Is that all three? Did Crazy Cat get all three?
Is that considered an ace?
It's an ace. And then Cran returns the favor and did take out one of the Barracudas, but yes, that was the Rocket League ace. Oh my gosh.
Unfortunately, that's not going to contribute any toward the score. Mammoths are left, Barracudas are left defending in the final few seconds. Crazy Cat's going to try to score the buzzer beater and he has it denied. So it looks like most likely we're heading into overtime.
Yes, we are. And for those of you that are just joining us, this is our show match here between the Barracudas and Mammoths. Not the same two squads we still have in our bracket series. And we are just entering golden goal situation. YY is going to close it out in 7 seconds.
Nice job for the Mammoths being able to recover and not having the Barracudas, the Barracudas score on them. So great job all around. Now we get to see if this will be ended very fast because the overlay said best of 3, so we could be just ending it right away.
Or it's all 3 despite saying best of 3.
And I would say for a show match, I wouldn't be surprised if they intentionally drag it out to the third game just because they're having so much fun playing.
It's either way, it's fine.
It wouldn't be the first time it's happened.
You're along for the ride with us, dear viewers. So the information you've seen presented is what we have. We're going into it just as blind as you. Are we going to have the same players in this next game? Are the team names going to stay the same? Yes. Are they going to stay on the same sides? Who knows? The last 2 weeks have been intriguing, to say the least.
Intriguing, to say the least, and I think we'll leave it at that and move it on to the second game of this show match, Barracudas versus Mammoths. Not the same two that we're seeing in the bracketed stage, more of a special set of players set up specifically for the show match. We'll see if Barracudas can rally back.
YY elevates, plays it off the backboard, centered up for Potato, but collision from Crazy Cat means the ball does not take the angle they need. Adrift now, pushing forward, takes a shot on goal. It's gonna hit that lower area on the crossbar and pop up awkwardly, so they have to reset this play. Very little momentum to do so.
Maybe takes another shot. It's going to be off the crossbar. Follow up by Adrift, hits the crossbar again.
Yikes.
The Mammoths have got to be really grateful for that piece of architecture.
That fourth man, it is unwavering and unmoving. It knows its task, and it does it well.
Crayon plays it off the wall. YY tries to redirect. The ball's just a shot is just a bit too fast. Potato is playing it past to the Barracudas. It's left to Gababy, but they still managed to push it toward the goal. I was thinking there was going to be a follow-up, but Crayon is hanging back, waiting for the play. Tries to dunk it down, but is denied. We're 1 minute into this match, 0-0.
YY brings the ball down. An awkward pinch into the air. Cran's going to get it. We have a demo onto YY. Shot on goal from Cran. Taken away by Gababy, who's now trying to go forward, get possession. Drift gets a few touches. They have the opportunity to send it to Gababy. They do it. They pop it up. Shot on goal. Saved by Cran.
Demo back onto Gababy. Mammoths are keeping up the demo derby thus far. But
The
Drift is just
cherry
gonna
picking.
casually redirected into the goal.
That was some cherry picking and stealthiness if I've ever seen it. Now, YY off kickoff, unfortunately sends the ball right to a Drift. It will be popped up. Cran rotating back into defensive positioning. Well, yes, back to defense. As Y pops the ball up, they have Cran to help them out. Crazy Cat's there. YY gets demoed, unfortunately, and booped by Potato off respawn. But Potato with possession has to play around 2 of the Barracudas.
Shot way over to the other side of the field by YY. He is able to recover again, get another shot from mid.
Great save by Baby there.
Crazy Cat with the shot way back over to the other side of the field. There goes Crayon. Double tap in mid-air, down to where a Drift is.
The flick was not there, my friend. They whiffed it. They whiffed the style flick, but it's okay. Potato came in, and now we're equalized one aside with just about half a game or 2 left.
First show match, this is actually really competitive. Baby now ready to center it. No follow-up. Potato again, the main playmaker for the Mammoths. He's caught an awkward angle, but Crayon steps up, pushes it past Baby. They now can, oh, I thought they might be able to get it in the goal. They might still be able to. Crazy Cat with a key deflect. Now a demo brought back out onto Crayon.
And that means that attempt is thwarted. Crayon off the respawn. Potato making a save, but it's very
again, Crayon.
Really off respawn. You guys are demoing Crayon off cooldown right now. Crayon, stay on the wall. Stay safe.
YY moving in, it deflects off of the corner. Baby trying to get back control of it. 1 minute, 45 seconds left. The Baby and Crazy Cat, who's gonna take the shot on goal. It's gonna be Crazy Cat off the crossbar again. MVP Mammoths.
Just about 90 seconds left. We're tied 1 aside. YY going forward has Cran. Took too many touches, so the ball was able to be pushed into Mammoth's defensive third. Baby plays it in front, gives to the Crazy Cat. Crazy Cat finds a goal, and that is going to be goal number 2 for the Barracudas right now, putting them in the lead by 1. But the series so far is in favor of the Mammoths. This game number 1 went in their favor.
Oh, look at this kickoff here. Potato is going to go off the wall. Is there a follow-up? All the members of the Barracudas are converging back onto the goal. Mammoths had a grand opening for a goal, but weren't able to find it.
The Baby with possession, taken away by Cran. Cran plays it off that back wall, but the angle's too shallow, so no one can do anything with it. Adrift, unfortunately, whips in mid-flight. Ball at midfield stripe. Cran with possession. Gets it around Baby. Can't quite do it, though, so decides to take them out instead. Crazy Cat pushing forward with possession into Mammoth territory. Flicks it forward, gets the shot. Now we are equalized to the side.
Well, it looks like the prediction we had at the beginning might very well be coming true. Heading to a game 3. Get the most possible gameplay out of this. Unless YY and Potato can make it happen, but Baby beats them to it. Now Adrift with the shot way back over to Mammoths. They're gonna have to find the clear unless Adrift sets it up again for another goal. Baby's waiting there, shot on goal, saved by YY. Follow-up by Crazy Cat, saved by Crayon.
They need to find a clear to the side. They do. They get it around Baby. Cran now pushing forward, challenged by Adrift, who beats him to the ball off the backboard. Follow-up touch from Adrift, and that is going to be another goal for the Barracudas. 12 seconds left. Yeah, pretty sure we're just going to a game number 3.
Yep, it would be all but impossible to get 3 goals in the course of just under 10 seconds. That is the situation right now. Barracudas still make sure to get a demo onto Potato because it seems like both these teams are determined to be very demo heavy for this match. One final buzzer beater from Potato makes the game officially 4-2.
That's not terrible. Definitely pretty gosh darn equal. Lots and lots of demos.
Now we head into the final match, and overall, who are you calling it for?
Man, it's been a long time since I've been the one put on this spot. I'm going to call for the Barracudas.
Alrighty then. In that case, I have to go with the other choice, which is the Mammoths. You know, we can't have the same prediction here.
Yeah, we can't be completely biased on the desk. Unless it's our Broncos playing, we're not allowed to be biased. With that being said, we're split 50-50 as required. We are contractually obligated. Just kidding. But genuinely, we want to keep it equal. I'm going for the Barracudas. You're going for the Mammoths. Let's see who wins. It has to end all be all here.
Well, the Mammoths have definitely shown that they are a team that is hanging in there. They have only won the single game that they won was just by 1 or 2 goals. So the Mammoths definitely the underdogs, but I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, we've also seen that I'm terrible at predictions to begin with, even when I have stats. This time I don't. It's a rare occasion I'm not writing a bunch of stuff onto our whiteboard desk, so I don't have any stats.
Oh, Gababy shot on goal, deflected by YY, and it heads back toward the corner. Can Mammoths recover after that initial volley? Shot on goal by Gababy again. He finds it the second time.
But having no studs might have still worked out in my favor.
Well, you know, the good thing is that, you know, there isn't too much on the line here. It's just a show match for fun.
Yeah, not at all. There's no punishment food. There's no hot chicken wings on the desk. I'm safe for now. I'm improving my predictions, ramping up to prepare for another situation like that.
Potato is ready to push it toward the goal. Gababy pushes it back to mid. Crazy Cat trying to see his next play, but the Mammoths capitalize on the hesitancy. Can Crayon redirect it into the goal? He sure can, and we're tied up again.
That didn't take long.
Very characteristic of how this best of 3 has gone.
Yep. Crayon off the kickoff, has little pressure, gets it past the drift. YY takes it. Oh, that was risky for the Barracudas there. Thankfully, they weren't punished out the gate. But they are kind of bunched up. Gabady's going to elevate. They get it past YY. I think that was a double commit. But Potato ended up saving it anyway.
Oh, Potato, awkward
What you
position.
doing?
He's trying to wait to see who he can play it around. Shot wide by the Mammoths, but they get back to the side control. All right, doing a bit of juggling in midair. Crayon tries to follow up, just misses.
Barely. Unfortunately, though, Hawaii's got to rotate back really fast to get into that defensive positioning and can't. Barracuda's now in the lead by 1. 3 minutes and 22 seconds on the clock, though. This still can go either way. Overall, can't make any bets yet, though we did place our bets at the very beginning.
Crayon elevates up, puts it toward the wall. Gababy back down toward the goal. Almost bounces in. Not quite, and the Mammoths now looking for their next clear.
Crayon challenged by a drift. Gababy comes in. Crayon is forced to rotate back for possession in favor of Barracudas. Potato pops the ball up. Double Y comes in, taken away by Crazy Cat for a few moments, but Potato still managing to maintain possession. Crazy Cat takes the shot off the defender's possession. Definitely getting a little bit greedy here. Gababy sends the ball to the midfield. It's a reset play for the Barracudas. Crazy Cat takes out Double Y.
Oh, Crayon tries to sneak it into the goal, but that would have been a very shallow angle to do it at. Crazy Cat moving up the field with a double touch. Back over to the side. YY gets doubled. Crayon rises to the occasion and is able to deflect it. Now YY off the respawn is left at a very uncomfortable angle. Crayon and Potato are still trying to make the play to save. Crayon is going to use the ceiling. It dunks it down. Back over to Potato, and they get past half field.
A drift centers it up for their teammates on their own side of the field. Definitely a risky play. Drift trying to corral it away from Potato. Can't quite do it. Gababy jumps over Potato, gets possession. We got 2-on-2 here in the corner in Barracuda territory. A drift elevates now, crossing the midfield stripe. YY goes for the challenge. Crazy Cat returns the favor. Beams the ball down into the Mammoths back third. Oh, Crayon.
Back over to the wall in the corner. Maybe with one tap, it goes way past Crayon. Had the shot been not quite as wide, that would have been another goal. But Bam is still within a 1-goal deficit. Still can tie it up at any moment.
Definitely doable. Minute 13 seconds left on the clock. Barracuda's only in the lead by 1. It is in Barracuda territory. This could be it for the Mams to find that equalizer they need. Cran elevates, challenged by Gababy. Potato goes into the corner, trying to dig that ball out, but it's going to be Gababy crossing midfield stripe, taken away by YY. Crazy Cat dunking it down in the corner.
Drift plays it over Crayon. Potato's rotating back to make sure he gets his own boost and can try to push it over to the other corner, and he is going to be able to do that. Can he beat a drift? Using a lot of boost to try to do it. Gets to the corner. Now him and Crayon play past the drift. Gababy is finding himself pushed back into the goal by Potato, but they can't capitalize on that disruption.
Ball is still inside Barracuda territory. It spent so much time over here, but they just could not find the opportunity to get that goal. They have 15 seconds left, Mammoths. Come on, you can do it.
At this point, yeah, he can't do it. Not at this point, I don't think, unless they can get a kickoff right off the goal.
Kickoff goal. No.
And, well, you know what?
Maybe?
Crayon.
Maybe?
Okay. I see how it is. They do want to drive it to, closest possible conclusion.
Anxiety is nothing new for us, coming from these players in particular, to us on the desk. We get it. Keep us on our toes. But the ball does hit the ground with that. Barracudas win, and I was right.
All right, congrats to Barracudas for winning that show match. That's going to do it for everything tonight. We have both the winners finals and the lower finals all lined up for next week, so you're going to want to tune in and see if our high school team, Liberty North, can continue making moves. I know we covered them only at the beginning and then moved on to Esports Tower, but you do not want to count them out by any stretch of the imagination. Well, if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. So at this point now, we have the opportunity to nominate players of the game, or I understand production might just go ahead and nominate 3 for us already that we can choose from.
If you don't know, our production area is over here, so I'm kind of pointing towards them. So I'm like, take it away, production.
Yep, yeah, I do hear it is in fact going to be a trio, so we get to see what the options for us tonight. We're going to be starting off with Cameron.
Okay, no shock.
Yep, no shock. He was the one to be the major playmaker for Liberty North.
Yeah, I'm guessing Cameron, possibly Raisin as our next one, and then maybe Potato or Cran.
Well, if we're nominating, okay, it is going to be Potato, who is a great player overall for the Barracudas, but I'm thinking if they nominated Cameron, they might nominate his counterpart on the other team, which was Hawk.
Maybe, yeah. Actually, having one from North Liberty would sound about equal here. We could also be completely cuckoo on desk. Toke.
No, Toke.
All right, yeah, we're completely cuckoo. Okay, of those 3, you got a 30% shot of success. Who is it?
Yeah, you're going to put me on the spot now.
Yep, returning the favor.
Cameron.
All right, you know what? I'm going to go with Potato. Watch it be Toke with our luck.
Yep, it's always our luck. They love to mess with us like that. Well, let's see who the final decision is as we're ready to wrap up tonight with the player of the game. Will it be one of our choices, or will Toke steal it out from under us? Let's find out.
I think Jem's right, by the way.
Player of the game is Cameron.
Yep. All right. Nicely done, Cameron.
Cameron definitely did everything he could to try to keep the Hammerheads in the running. And this was the only game we also saw that didn't go to a 3-0. This was the most competitive game of the night.
Yes, nicely done to the Hammerheads. You guys tried your definite hardest. We'll have to see how you perform next week, though.
Well, overall, Nerdy, before we send things out tonight, we just want to give one more shout-out to Cameron, the player of the game brought to us by ICCU, Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success. Cameron is the ICCU, Idaho Central Credit Union, player of the game.
You can't hear it, but I'm golf clapping.
Nice golf clap. And do you, in addition to a golf clap, do you have any final thoughts for us tonight?
I am very excited to see a high school actually coming into Esports Tower in the Rumble. It's been a long time since we've had an outside community join us here, and I'm very excited and very happy to see it. So thank you so much to North Liberty High School for joining us.
And congratulations to all of our team on a fantastic night of Rocket League. The Barracudas and Liberty North are going to be heading in to the winners finals next week, so be sure to tune into that next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for more Rocket League action. We'll close out with the top 5 plays of the game brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. Thank you so much for watching. We leave you with 5 top plays of the game, and see you next time on Esports Tower.
Yeah, some people like me are just destined to fuck up everything that we mess with. If I was made as a joke, I don't get it. Missed the call, but I guess I got the message. Usually I fall too hard, I'm addicted to pain. And if the world's on fire, I'll be swimming in flames, yeah. Cause I'm too impatient to wait for change. I know I'm far from perfect. My name, but I don't even know my name. Going insane, putting heavy on my brain, and I don't even know my name. It's a story about a ID crisis. Used to think my only future was the night shift. Brain on ADHD, autopilot, and through it all somehow I kept smiling.